other finishers like the diving headbutt.
Yeah, which maybe can be
I
just
mean, and on
considered
the high
a
knee,
signature.
I mean, he took he ran as fast as he could, and he like just drilled his knee into
Right,
Cena's face. I mean, it's a pretty vicious finisher,
right.
but they never really sold it as his finisher up to the pay per
Up
view.
until until
So,
now.
so nobody, I think, like knew this was like a
Knew it was
finisher.
coming, which I
Don't
don't
get me wrong,
mind.
for the fans, but
Right.
the 3 count, it was
Didn't matter. Yeah, it didn't
they
matter
went crazy, but there
in
were a few
the
people
grand
going
scheme.
like, really,
Like
that's how it
really,
ended. Like,
yeah. Because I think a lot of people they're like supposed to think like, oh well, it's got to end with a finisher that everybody knows.
yeah,
This is a case where it's different.
I mean, like I said, it's a nice
And maybe it's a
finisher,
new
but
finisher. Yeah,
they never introduced this as a finisher
yeah.
in past.
And yeah, I mean, and that to me that doesn't bother me. I mean, it looks brutal, and like
Well, yeah, exactly.
so.
And they could have easily
Go ahead.
hyped it up as Bryan. Bryan threw a new move that Cena didn't see coming.
Right. Yeah.
Like like that's how he beat the guy. He outsmarted him. He
Yeah.
outmaneuvered him. He thought of a move that is so vicious. I mean, because let's face it, it's he the way he did it. I mean, how even the way Cena sold it, it looked
Right.
like he was out. I mean, he runs over and he elevates his knee and he knees him like
Yeah.
right in his
Square.
forehead, pretty much.
Right.
But and I was just impressed that it was a clean finish.
Yeah, he didn't tap out, but that's I mean they could say that maybe for another day as far as Cena tapping out goes.
Well, that's the thing too. There,
Clean win for
I mean,
Daniel
if it's
Bryan.
gonna be a clean finish and Bryan's gonna have to win, and I kind of knew Bryan was gonna win because of the whole elbow deal.
Yeah, I mean,
knew
for a couple weeks now, you've seen what appeared to be a baseball
Oh,
inside.
Cena did a great job even showing it.
Later,
I mean, like this is
a
normal elbow, and he's using this
when he
massive
showed it,
ball
yeah,
coming out
exactly.
of it.
It looked like it looked like the size of a baseball.
I mean, it was clear Cena was going to need
So,
surgery down the line. So
yeah,
clearly, Bryan was going to win this match.
Yeah, and
so
I was and I was hearing rumors too that oh Cena has an injury, and you look at the elbow and you think, oh well, now you can definitely see some truth to that. And you had to think that Cena was going to win or lose.
Yeah,
and
the question was always how, because they said this guy never lost.
Right.
This is the first time as a face of the company he's ever lost clean.
Pretty much,
no interference, no distractions, no cheating. It was
except to The Rock. That was clean.
Yeah, but he's a legend, and I think legends.
But to a newer guy, a newer guy, yes,
exactly, a newer guy,
a lesser, yeah.
And you know what? And you look at Cena's promo. He pretty much was saying, "Look, I got beat by a younger, more." What's the thing? I think they were finding that out too. That was kind of the great story that they were telling too much. Was that Cena? I think was starting to realize that he's not the one that's more motivated right now.
He's 36. Yeah.
Well, no, but it's just that there were times where it's just like no, this guy's got. I felt like a point in his match. He's just like, well, forget the entry here. The guy I'm fighting right now is so determined, so fired up. He wants to be champion.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, it was a great finish. I kind of was waiting for the Randy Orton theme to come out, though. To their credit, though, they did a great job.
They did, yeah.
I mean, hell, graffiti was coming. They had confetti coming down.
Cena,
Bryan actually got down like on his knees and like said like thanks mom and dad on the I mean like he really was treating it like this was the biggest match of his career. Probably because it was.
Yeah,
I mean he just beat the top dog in the company.
Right.
Legitimately beat him.
For the WWE Championship and not the lesser World Heavyweight Championship.
That's the thing too, and I think we're talking legitimately beat here. I mean, obviously it's less embarrassing to get pinned than tap out because when you tap out, you're giving up.
Right.
So they didn't really give up there. He just got beat.
Yeah.
Like somebody just physically beat the man to the point where he couldn't get up for a 3 count.
Yeah.
And actually the way he did it kind of was almost like I felt like Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior-ish. Because when Hogan first lost to Warrior at WrestleMania 6, he kind of like had like a pissed off look like somebody thought, oh man, Hogan might turn heel this moment, which was not gonna happen.
Yeah.
But like, he like swings Bryan around and has like a pissed off look on his face and then all of a sudden, like, shakes his hand and goes, and he says something like, probably like, you were the better man. You were the better man.
Yeah.
Which just makes you think eventually down the line, it's going to be a rematch. Kind of like, like, you beat me once. Can you do it twice? Obviously not right now. He's
not anytime soon.
But, no, but, I mean, the graffiti. But I knew, like, as soon as Triple H was still in that ring, I knew, oh, something's going to happen. Because why is the ref still in the ring after all this time? Cena left the ring. Why is the referee still in the ring?
Yeah.
And then you hear Randy Orton's theme. And the way they do it, I thought was great. Like, Orton slowly walking. He's not running. He's not running.
Daniel Bryan's up.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And it looks like he's about to walk off. But then I see Troy slowly walking towards Bryan. I'm like, oh, I know what's coming. And all of a sudden, a pedigree. Orton walks in, he gives it, and Triple H was like gladly to accept it, ring the bell.
I'm gonna call it right down to
yeah.
And Triple H just screwed Daniel Bryan.
The heel turn. Yeah.
A double heel turn. Orton turned heel.
Orton as well. Yeah.
And Triple H turned heel. So it was
a
double heel turn.
Yeah, which was what? How do you feel about with Bryan now having that big moment? Quickly taken away. Actually, I was anxious to ask you about.
Well, people were so happy with
as we get to Raw from here.
Well, here's the thing: the news coming out is that backstage, while a lot of people were so happy about the Brock and Punk finish, there was mixed reactions to the way they ended the whole Bryan Cena. Not the match, the way.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: there,
of course,
Bryan got out of everything Cena threw at him.
Right.
All his finishers, everything, pretty much. So why? So now you have Triple H, a retired wrestler, pedigrees him, and that's it. Bryan's done. Like, what are they trying to send here? That the pedigree is more vicious than an attitude adjustment, than an STF?
Well, I mean, I guess added on top of all that.
Well, yeah, you could easily say it too, but it's like, after the pedigree, that's it. He's motionless.
I guess that's.
Orton didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I would have loved it if maybe
he could have
pedigree and then maybe a punt.
Maybe a punt, yeah.
And then it's two things that took Bryan to get done, but it was one pedigree.
Right.
After Bryan kicked out of an attitude adjustment, got out of an STF. I mean, we're talking about the face of the company, and now we have a retired performer.
I mean, the decision made sense, but they could have thrown in a punt in there because that would have ultimately, the heel Orton is back, and
I think the other thing that people got pissed off is that this was easily Daniel Bryan's biggest moment of his career.
Right, yeah.
And some people were saying, why not just give him this moment and then maybe do the cash in on Raw? Now, I will argue with that though. While I was disappointed that Bryan's biggest moment was quickly taken away from him, pretty much. I mean, to me though, that's what made this angle so much better. This is how you get sympathy towards Bryan now, because I mean, the man thanked his parents for crying out loud, which always made me say, you can't cash it in at this moment. He just thanked his parents on live television. I mean, but at the same time, this is your second biggest pay-per-view. And this is easily going to be your biggest angle heading into WrestleMania, the whole McMahon battle and that.
Yeah.
So you had to unleash it at SummerSlam.
Probably the sooner they did it, which they did it as ASAP, the more it's just going to fuel the Bryan fan base.
Well, that's what I'm saying there too. And I guess we can now move into Raw. Cena's promo pretty much was, look, this is no longer for the next 4 or 6 months. It's not my show. This is the Daniel Bryan show. This is the legitimate face of the company now.
For now, yeah.
For at least
baby face, whatever you want.
Well, he is. I mean, because think about it.
In the main story,
Orton turned heel. He's gone.
Well, they needed somebody to turn heel. Because even if Bryan was WWE champion and Cena was going away, there were not really any other heels that they could have gone with.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, Punk's busy with Heyman still. So Bryan is now the legitimate babyface main eventer right now. Now, for me, how long will it last? Cena said 4 to 6 weeks. Now, when
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's
when I said
towards WrestleMania season,
which is funny because the original reports for the surgery for the elbow was that I only heard it would take maybe as most of 8 weeks, which would be 2 months.
Yeah.
Now, people said besides the elbow, Cena is going to take more time off to recuperate the rest of his body.
Which he should.
That's sore. But the 4 to 6 months to me screams more of how the rating is going to come off of Cena not being featured on television for the next 4 to 6 months.
Right.
Because to me, if the ratings start going down, probably because Cena fans just don't want to watch the product anymore. Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't. Because if you're a wrestling fan, you should have a second favorite guy on here.
Yeah.
But if the ratings, but the problem also is that Monday Night Football is coming up too. So now they have stiff competition, which is why usually the ratings always go down during football season, especially if it's a good matchup.
Right.
And,
Spider 2 wiping in.
But if the ratings start going down, it's 4 months. Cena's back in 4 months. If the ratings don't go down, in fact, hell, they might even go up. You never know. I mean, because now you have an original. This is the first time Daniel Bryan now is going to be on the top card now. The first time in his career. And actually, this is the first time that it's not somebody whose name is not Randy Orton, John Cena, CM Punk. I mean, this is a new face of the top.
New baby face, yeah.
So if the ratings go up, what do you do as a company now? Do you actually Hell, merchandise also. Merchandise
Right.
goes up. I mean, like there's so many questions now. This is the first time that I think WWE is
Yeah.
actually starting to acknowledge, okay, Cena's not going to be around.
Right.
Do we actually have a second
This is-
babyface that
yeah.
can step in that
And this is a
shoe?
good. He's got, and Daniel Bryan's got a good storyline to be that babyface in.
Well, hell, he's going to go get the entire
This is-
McMahon family.
Yeah, and Randy Orton.
The ultimate, exactly. The Shield. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, he's almost facing. I mean, I would say an Austin.
We'll see if he picks
kind of
up an
attitude-
ally along the way.
Well, it sounds like he has
That-
Ziggler
that's the thing.
and Show, and he even saw like the states from like Mark Henry and
eventually,
the primetime player. And like,
eventually, yeah.
like you clearly saw like half the locker room had like
Right.
the states, but you saw like I think it was funny. The two guys who were clapping the whole time were Teddy Long
Right.
and Brad Max, the two corporate like
Yeah.
other kind of like leaders in that.